In 2024, during the Paris Olympics, David Popovich won his first ever Olympic medal when he was crowned the Olympic champion in the men's 200 freestyle, backing up the potential that he showed in 2022 after an off year in 2023. Right before the Paris Olympics, Popovich swam a time in the 200 freestyle of 1:43.13 at the European Championships. Then, at the Olympics, he did gain a bit of time, swimming a 1:44.72, but again, that time did win an Olympic gold medal, so I doubt he cared too much. And once again this year, Popovich was really fast right before the big meet. At the U23 European Championships, he broke 1:44 again when he popped a time of 1:43.64 to give him the fastest time in the world that year ahead of the World Championships. Some did wonder if he would go a similarly fast time again in Singapore, or if he would add some time again like he did in Paris. The competition also did seem to be a bit more fierce for David Popovich this year, and that's because the Olympic bronze medalist Luke Hobson went a huge personal best at the United States National Championships, throwing down a time of 1:43.73 to break 1:44, and that was a personal best by a little over a second for him. For the first time since 2009 during the Supersuit era, we saw two swimmers break the elusive 1:44 barrier during the same year, and now the big question on many people's minds was whether or not we would see one or more sub 1:44 second swims in the same race at Worlds. During the earlier rounds of the 200 freestyle in Singapore, these two led the way. First, Popovich had the fastest time out of the prelims just ahead of Hobson. Then Hobson had the top time out of the semifinals to give himself the top seed going into that all-important final. And with that, the stage was set. These two seemed to be the favorites for the gold and silver, but it was a pretty stacked field all around them. At the start of the race, it was Korean Wang Sunwoo who had the slightest of leads over Hobson at the first turn, with Popovich right behind those two. Over the next 50 meters, Hobson had the fastest split of the field to take the lead and nearly break 50 seconds on the way out. Popovich, meanwhile, was lurking right behind, sitting in 4th position. On the crucial third 50, Hobson had the fastest split in the entire field, and Popovich had the next fastest split, as these two had really distanced themselves from the rest of the pack. It wasn't until the 4th 50 where David Popovich made his move, outsplitting Hobson and the rest of the field as he soared to a gold medal, reclaiming his world title that he first won back in 2022. Popovich touched first with a time of 1:43.53, while Hobson earned the silver medal with a time of 1:43.84, and in the bronze medal position, Japan's Tetsuya Murusa broke the Japanese record with a time of 1:44.54. That is an incredibly fast podium, and yes, of course, we did see two swimmers break 1:44 in the same race. Looking at the splits between the top two swimmers, we can see that Hobson really went after it right from the start. These two were pretty similar on the first 50, but on the second and third 50s, Hobson started to distance himself with some really aggressive splits. But he didn't build up quite enough of a lead to overcome Popovich on the final 50, as Popovich made up nearly a full second, which was enough to go by him for the win. It's worth noting that while Hobson does get slower over the course of the race, this isn't him totally falling apart or anything. It's just how he swims a 200 freestyle, by going out fast and holding on, and it clearly works for him as it's gotten him 2 1:43s now, and it's really interesting to see how it plays out against a back halfer like Popovich. It makes for a great race. Not only was David Popovich significantly faster than his gold medal winning swim from Paris, but he was also faster than his time from the U23 Championships, 1:43.64 to 1:43.53. While it is a small drop, it's a really good sign for his 100 freestyle later on in that meet, because at that same meet where he ripped that 200 free time, he also went a new personal best in the 100 free of 46.71. That time is the second fastest 100 freestyle swim ever, only trailing Penjan Law's ridiculous world record time of 46.40. Things like this are never a one-to-one conversion, but the fact that Popovich bettered his 200 time is a promising sign for his 100 freestyle later on in the meet. If you're watching this video right when it came out, then the next session of swimming is going to have the prelims of the 100 freestyle. Then after that, we have the semifinals, and then the all-important final. I absolutely loved seeing these performances out of David Popovich and Luke Hobson. It was some fast swimming and a great race between these two, and hopefully it is the first of many more to come as they push each other to go faster and faster over the next few years. Maybe into the 141s? It's a tall ask, but I wouldn't hate it. I also want to give credit to the other American in the field, Gabriel Jett. After just barely sneaking to the final, he absolutely sent the first half of this race, flipping in second, narrowly behind Hobson at the halfway point before that speed caught up to him, but that took some guts. What did you think about this race in the 200 freestyle, and how fast do you think David Popovich is gonna go in that 100 freestyle? Will he be close to his best time, or is he gonna be battered by the wake of the final? Let me know down below.